Mr. Sibal, let me just begin by asking you about one of the points which India has made in its rebuttal to the Hollande statement, where they're saying that, look, this could be simply Hollande trying to protect himself, because back in France, he's facing charges of cronyism, that he favored Reliance because Reliance funded his partner's film. To that you would say what?
Look, I mean, I don't wish to respond to the allegations made by the government of India, but I want to place before the people the circumstances in which all this happened.
All right.
Remember, the 36 Rafales bought off the shelf happened on the 10th of April.
Right.
On the 8th of April, the Foreign Secretary gave a press conference.
Sure.
And he was asked a question as to whether Rafale deal is going to get finalized. And he said, you know, the President and the Prime Minister are not going to talk about the Rafale deal. There are bigger things to talk about.
Right.
So obviously the Foreign Ministry did not know about it.
Okay.
Then on the 25th of March, that is 14 days before that, Eric Trappier, head of Dassault, he made a statement that 95% of the deal with HAL is complete, and we're very happy, and that the 5% of the deal will be completed very soon.
Okay.
So one second. So the Defense Minister, that is Parikar, then Defense Minister, was in Goa inaugurating a function.
Yes.
So the Defense Minister didn't know. The Foreign Ministry did not know.
Okay.
Dassault did not know.
All right.
And the Prime Minister goes there on the 10th of April. So I don't think any answers are required.
Okay, but but in the context of Hollande, though, because that is the big new twist. Yes.
And then who can provide the best evidence for this? The person who was negotiating with the Prime Minister. There are only two people.
Francois Hollande.
There are only two people: the Prime Minister and Francois Hollande. Therefore, he provides the best evidence.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking you. Yes, right. So he has come out and said what he said.
So the circumstances,
which is led to Rahul Gandhi saying that this is further proof that the president of another country has called I Prime Minister a thief. But that's why I'm asking you about the statement by the government, the response, and do respond to that, saying that maybe Mr. Hollande made it under pressure.
You see, the government has to give an excuse. They have to attack Hollande. Because he's spoken the truth, so they will give any kind of excuse. See,
but why can't the Prime Minister? Any merit in that argument?
Why can't the
that Hollande was under pressure?
Why can't the Prime Minister of India come and say, no, I never told them? Why can't he say that? Why is he quiet?
He's saying
why is he allowing his ministers to say this? And how does Nirmala Sitharaman? One second.
The Prime Minister.
How does Nirmala Sitharaman know what happened between the Prime Minister and Hollande? How does anybody else know?
Okay, what do you make of the point that was also made by Ravi Shankar Prasad today? And if I can just play that clip very briefly and get you to respond, where he says that if you are accusing us of cronyism, what about the fact that there was an earlier Reliance Dassault deal under the UPA? Let's listen.
फरवरी 13, 2012 टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में छपा था. हम कब सत्ता में आए? 26 मई 2014 को. ये क्या लिखा है? Reliance Industries and France Dassault Aviation have signed a pact. तो हमारी सत्ता में आने के पहले राहुल गांधी की सत्ता में ही ये MOU फाइनल हो गया था.
So now the government of India relies on a newspaper report to make an allegation. I mean, I'm shocked.
No, but
that a minister of this government should rely on government files.
But he's saying we have the MOU with us, there was something signed in 2012.
Why is he not setting out what is in the file instead of a newspaper report in Times of India?
Okay, but
I'm absolutely shocked that the government of India has to rely upon a newspaper report.
Fine, but on the substance of it, the fact that there was already an agreement between Reliance, this is by the way Mukesh Ambani Reliance and Dassault in 2012 under your government, then why the question marks over this happening now?
I mean, why are you assuming that? He's referred to a Times of India report. On what basis do you say that?
Are you denying that there was such an MOU?
I don't know. How do I know? He's referring to a Times of India report. He should show if there was any such deal, he should state it. But in any case, that is neither here nor there.
Even if there was such a deal?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
What is the issue today? Issue today is Dassault did not choose Reliance Aerospace.
Right.
Or aero infrastructure or whatever.
Right.
The Francois Hollande, who provides the best evidence, says that they told me, and they told the French government, and therefore we chose him. Now, who is the best person to deny that? The Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister of India is quiet.
But let me understand what the Congress allegation here is. Are you alleging or are you saying that this is likely to be a case of cronyism where, if one assumes that what Mr. Hollande is saying is correct, that the Indian government is actually recommending a favoured business partner, or is this corruption?
No, it's clearly corruption. It's clearly corruption because they...
But where's the proof?
No, the proof will come through an inquiry.
Right.
You see, why are they not disclosing? For example, the chairman of HAL, he retired 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
What does he say? He says that we were ready to manufacture the aircraft. If we could do Sukhoi and we could do Tejas, why can't we do the Rafale? We are all ready to do that. And on the 11th of March, that's
so you're saying there's quid pro quo between this government and Anil Ambani group. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything of that sort. All I'm saying is that the HAL chairman, Eric Trappier, were ready to go together with each other, and that is in March itself.
Right.
And Trappier also made a statement on the 11th of March that I'm so happy that the HAL was on board with us. Why? Because they had agreed that each entity manufacturing the aircraft will give a warranty for what they manufacture.
No, but your point was that you said it's corruption.
That's obviously corruption.
So
because
the
if
corruption is between whom? Then you are saying that there's been
we'll have to investigate.
Between the Anil Ambani
No,
group
why
and the
is it overpriced? Why the price has increased?
Okay.
Who has taken the cut?
Okay.
Who is responsible for that?
Right.
Why did this deal come about in this fashion? And remember, the CCS came about in August.
Right.
The CCS met in August. This deal was done in April.
Right.
And remember, this became government-to-government deal. The original deal was a private deal. Please let me talk. This became a government-to-government deal. So the previous deal was scrapped. So the CCS approval had to be taken. It had to be taken before the 10th of April.
Okay, let me ask you this. That in the wake of these Hollande allegations, and generally now, Rahul Gandhi has intensified his attack on the Prime Minister. And the language he's using, according to the BJP, and let's just play what Mr. Prasad has to say about that, he says he's taken political discourse, especially when it comes to the Prime Minister, to a new low. Let's listen.
राहुल गांधी के आरोपों का उत्तर देने के लिए आपके बीच आया हूं। आजाद भारत में आज तक किसी पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ने ऐसे शब्द का प्रयोग किसी प्रधानमंत्री के बारे में नहीं किया है। मिस्टर राहुल गांधी, दिस शेमफुल, irresponsible statement.
When Mr. Sibal, when Rahul Gandhi says things like "Desh ka chaukidar chor hai," this is settled in people's mind. Is that sort of language? I mean, even if you're making allegations of corruption, is this sort of language to be used for a prime minister?
One second. What did the present finance minister say about Rahul Gandhi just 3 days ago? Do you remember what he said?
Yes.
Clown prince.
Yes.
That's cultured language, you think?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
It's not a question of two wrongs. Here is a chaukidar who doesn't tell us why he bought the Rafale, why Government of India had a government-to-government India deal. He doesn't tell us what the price is. Sitaraman doesn't tell us. They say there is some secrecy clause.
Yes.
No, the fact of the matter is that all these, see, in a mobile phone,
yes,
everything is priced. What is protected is technology. Who is asking them for operational details?
But to use language like "Desh ka chaukidar chor hai."
Desh ka chaukidar, if he doesn't look after the assets of the country, and the whole deal is so dubious, what else will you say?
Would you agree with that kind of description of Mr. Modi?
What else would you say? Remember when Bofors came about, what these people said about Rajiv Gandhi?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes.
What kind of language they used? Right?
Yes.
They've forgotten all about that?
Again,
they've forgotten all about that?
No, but look, again, that goes back to two wrongs making a right.
Let's talk about substance here. Let's not get sort of deviated by language.
Can I ask you a question on substance?
Yes.
Because in his clarifications to AFP, former President Hollande did repeat the fact that Reliance was not our choice, but when AFP asked him, was Dassault pressured to take Reliance, he said, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Ask Dassault. This is being seen.
But
let me just finish my question.
He's right.
This is being seen by those in defense of the government as a fact that Mr. Hollande has done a flip-flop.
2-3 statements have come. The French government has said the government had nothing to do with it.
Yes.
And they are right. Because the French government didn't have anything to do with it. It's the Indian government that had everything to do with it. Right? So it is consistent with Hollande's statement.
I mean, that's one way of reading it.
There's not one way. That's the only way to read it.
Okay, the Indian government is reading it differently. They're seeing it as an exoneration.
That's right. So that's what I said. The best evidence can be provided by only two people. One of them has provided the best evidence. The other is Mon. The other is quiet. Why is he quiet?
You don't see what Hollande said on Dassault, that not being able to tell whether there was pressure on them as a reversal or a
remember
climb
this,
down?
if the Prime Minister of India goes and says, have him as a partner, why would Dassault say no?
Okay.
Where is the question of pressure? That question is wrong. They would readily agree because they want a government-to-government deal. And they have 36 aircraft taken off the shelf without 22,000 jobs being given to HAL, which is what the original deal was, right? And without transfer of technology. They'd be delighted.
Can I ask you, as we wind down on this, is this the Bofors moment for the India government?
It's much more than that.
It is much more?
It is much more.
Is this, though, a turning point in this Rafale scandal? And if it is, then what is your demand tonight? Tonight, what is your demand in the light of what Hollande said?
This, Srinivasan, and many more to come.
And many more to come.
Many more to come.
Says Kapil Sibal with a knowing expression on his face. Thank you all very much indeed, Kapil Sibal, as always. Pleasure to have you. Thanks very much indeed.